Oh wait, hold on. I gotta. Didn't bring over everything. We need to fix that ASAP. I didn't bring over everything. Time to make sure the sound is good. Time to make sure the sound is good. How is the music compared to what I sound like? How loud I am? How is the music compared? Okay, it's super low, super low, but it's got words to it, so I wanted to kind of be low. Also, I should close my door to make it sound a little better. Ignore the socks on the floor. I don't know if you can see them though. A little loud still, little loud. We'll go like right there, like halfway where it was before. Let's go, alright? Talking 1, 2, 3. Right there, like halfway where it was before. Let's go, alright? Talking 1, 2, 3. Right there. Just the tiniest bit more. It's probably exactly where it was before I started messing with it. Probably. That's probably exactly what's going on. Alright, here we go. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Wait, I need this up so I can see my chat. So I can see my chat. Yay! I should probably also get my £1/2 back. Boink. Because I listen to music too. But I want it to be a little low. I want just barely be able to hear it. Yeah. This helps you get in the mood. Alright. Hello. Where's my... Where did I put the glove? Oh, that's where I put it. Okay. Oh my god. Who are you kids? This is the first time I've ever done a tier list. Like, ever. And here we go. Alright. I'm feeling a little silly. I'm feeling a little goof McDoof. I'm feeling like things have been kind of cray-cray lately. So, especially with a lot of people that I like. I think this might be just a touch too big. I'm gonna fix this. There we go. Yeah, now it's a little bit easier to see. Perfect. And you can see the people down here a little bit easier. All right. I wanted to do something fun today, and I saw this post on Twitter that was, okay, there's a thing that's going around that's like, can 100 dudes beat a single silverback gorilla in a fight? Most people seem to think that the gorilla would absolutely stomp them, and would absolutely stomp a few. But apparently, Okay, there's this one guy who's like, hi, I actually studied gorillas, and gorillas are basically weird forest cows. They would most likely run, but if they did fight, they could probably take out 30 to 40, but they'd still die. But then I saw somebody post, and I didn't save the actual post. I want to see if maybe I can find it. Hold on, because I like to give credit to the person because they inspired this whole stream. Hololive gorilla. Maybe. Yes. Okay. I'm actually going to repost this. Let's see. Repost. I'm gonna repost this. See Poo Poo. Enough 100 man versus 1 gorilla battles. Let's see who will win this battle. Hollow EN members versus 100 gorillas. And I was like, that's actually really funny. Let me see if I can share this on stream. 1 second. I have my Twitter app. It's not X. You can't make me call it that. I can never recall it that. Mikola. Yeah, okay, let me show this real quick. You can see the people who I follow, which is Solid Life Productions English. OBS is a thing. Here we go. We're on this one. Let me. Oh, I can do this pretty easily. Hold up. I can just add this over here. And it should show up on stream, correct? Yeah. Okay, this is the post that inspired this. So I decided to do an entire stream about it. This only has live. I decided to do All Hollow EN, or Hollow Pro EN, I probably should say. So I included the boys too. I don't know as much about the boys. Most of them are cooked. Because the lore of the boys is not conducive to them being godlike beings, unfortunately. I have theories, but because I love theory crafting. So yeah, thank you. I decided to do an entire stream about this. And let me grab this and put this back over with the other. Oh yeah, that's where it goes. Okay, and then this goes up front. All right, but yeah, with Mume's graduation yesterday and all that, I was like, you know what? And especially with other stuff, like the stuff that's going on with like Mata today and Cinder, this has just been like a bad month for VTubing. I am a inveterate theory crafter. And that's not a proper use of that word. I am a theory crafter. And I have... Okay, so my current theory is, as to what's going on, well, no, as to what has been going on for the past couple years, is that I'm starting to think that we're in like the second age of VTubing, if that makes sense. Like 2016 to the end of 2022, I see as like, not the golden age, but that's like the age of legends. That's when all the big people rose and whatnot. And VTubing came on the scene, and like the pioneers and whatnot. Not the golden age, because you can never know a golden age exists until well after it's passed. So I call it the age of legends. And right now, I think from probably the start of 2023 till now, we're in what I'm calling the Great Shift, which is just the great shift of the public conscience towards VTubing, with more people being more accepting of it, and 2, the great shift in where the biggest players are in the VTubing, because it used to be just corpos, but now it's shifting to indie, and also some of the biggest people who were corporate VTubers are switching to being indie, such as Mume. Well, I don't know if Mume will come back. I'm going to be honest. She might come back a little bit, but Gura's been heavily hinting that she's going to come back. In fact, I was watching her play Oblivion, and she called it the start of the new adventure. That's what she named the stream, which is crazy considering she's graduating on Thursday. And then when she was going through and she was naming the class and she was making a custom one, she was naming it, she stopped and was like, will people see this? Like, is this gonna show up on a later stream? And I'm gonna need to be like, oh, bro, what's that? So she's absolutely going to be coming back. It'll probably might not be right away, but she's absolutely going to be coming back. So, Mume, I don't know. Oh man, I was brought to tears last night. I was thinking like, this is like her last like 30 to 45 minutes as Mume. That's gotta suck. Anyways, but there's just been a lot of fun stuff, not fun stuff going on. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna do a little bit of my secret favorite thing, which is theory crafting and coming up with reasons for stuff. So I have all the Holo Pro EN. I included the boys too, because why not? No one does. It feels weird to me. So we're gonna put them here in the tier list. Okay, so first, my brain just died. Let's go over the tier list. Starting at the top, gorillas. What gorillas? This is S tier. These are people who could kill the gorillas without even trying, without even realizing that they're there. Then we have an easy win. They still have to fight. They still have to recognize the gorilla's existence, but they'll beat them easy. We have a barely win. We have a close to beating all. We have destroy about half. Executed after beating a few. First one kills them, and then lastly die before getting to the gorillas. There's only like one person I know of who might fit that. Actually, there's one person I know who's going to be in both. But anyways, all right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here's the thing. The boys in this are at a massive disadvantage just because of lore reasons. Because they are all regular people with powers, sort of, from Elysium. They might be more durable than their average person, but it's only going to be like plot armor level durability at most. Well, not even plot armor, just like more average than most. Okay, so in Death Battle Style, I got this fun little hickey-do over here. I have powers, durability, and disposition. So, because here's the thing that's going to play into all of this. There's a bunch of people who are crazy powerful, as we're going to get into, but because they're not going to want to fight or they're going to freak out, they might get owned. So powers specifically, probably the best way to think about this is offense, defense, and their willingness to engage and actually fight gorillas. Actually, I'm going to put this up on a different layer. Okay, yay! Okay. So we're going to start with this. So first we got good old Axel. Axel Sirius. I don't know much about Axel. He streams at an extremely inconvenient time for me because he's Australian. So I'm usually dead asleep and it's super early in the morning. The latest I've ever been able to watch him was that one time Mint did whatever it is. that one game where it's like Among Us. I forget what it is. But that's like the only... My brain is dying. That's like the only collab of his I've ever been able to see, or really stream of his. Because it's just so dang late at night. I'm old. Come on, man. So Axel. He is a gladiator, so he's got hand-to-hand combat. He's definitely going to be stronger than the average bear. Let's see here. One thing we can do is... Alright, so... Let's see. We're going to be using all, like... We're going to be using all, like... lore. We're not going to be using anything. We're not going to be using anything like fan created. So stuff like Miss Bad End and things that have been created for people, we're not using that because that's all like fan stuff. Only things that have come out officially that have been showed in like intro videos and things like that and whatnot, which is not a whole lot to go off of, but it works. Oh wait, there we go. Let's see. So. Serious intro video. I don't want his debut. I want like... Do they have like... Do they have like a teaser? What's in this teaser? Yeah. No, that's for... Here we go. All right, what do we got from these guys? Oh no, you can see my recommended page. It's all music playlist and VTuber related stuff. Oh no. Okay, does this actually show anything or does it just show what their pictures look like? Because I'm thinking something more like what they had for Advent. Yeah, I'm thinking something more like what they had for Advent. So this is just going to be there. Where they actually had like a little like lore video. All right, we're just gonna look at his lore then. Because there's some people like Shiori, who I could probably say everything off the top of my head. Resolve because the problem. All right, I'll destroy it. So I am a doctor. Chief Human Resources in the Adventures Guild Tempest. He is the owner of the combat arena and a gladiator himself. He joined Tempest on a whim, only to take a real liking to it. He has also swiftly resolved any problems he has faced by sheer instinct, was considered himself somewhat of a doctor. Okay, so he's just a gladiator. Skydiving with Yago. Let's see. The 3D showcases are also pretty good. But it's a little bit too long. So yeah, dude's just kind of like a normal. However, he is a trained fighter. He is a trained fighter. So powers... Offense. Trained fighter. Durability. Slightly above normal. I'm going off of that they have at least like not shonen anime, but shoujo anime pro tag levels of durability. Like slice of life level ones. Like they could probably take getting hit by a car, but that's maybe it. If we don't know. Disposition will absolutely fight. Will fight the gorillas. That's not how you spell gorillas. gorillas with... I get spell. Without hesitation. Bro's just gonna get in there. He's gonna do his thing. However, he is still one dude. He doesn't have any particular weapons. He just punches people. Bro's totally unarmed, except for his arms. He might be slightly stronger than the normal human, but I'm pretty sure he gets tired fighting the first one and goes down. He's just a normal dude. He's not even armed. What is he gonna do? Now, if he had a weapon, I'd probably say one or two, but no. And unfortunately, the same as for good old Bazoin Haka here. The same is true for good old Bazoin Haka here. Bro's going down. Might as well go through everything, but powers, he is a... I just forgot about it, this. He is a spirit exorcist. That's the word. Exorcist, that is utterly unhelpful against gorillas. Unless the gorillas are demon possessed or ghost possessed. Okay, then we're talking. But no. Normal gorillas, absolutely. Durability, low. Probably below Axel because he's part of like a guild, but he's more like their caster, not their frontline fighter. Low caster class. Disposition will run. He's not going to mix it up. Will run. No. But will fight if needed. So I think once he does get into the fight, same one. Bro's going down fast. He will make it to the gorillas, but he's going down. All right, and now we have Miss Cecilia Immergreen. So Cecilia Immergreen is very durable. She survived car crashes. She survived falling down. She survived falling down stairs. All pretty much that is scrapped. Or scrape. She also is armed and has lance, which is also honestly a very good weapon in here. So power. Stronger than average human. Let's see. Has lance. And the advantages of having a lance is great. Because it's a long poking weapon. And especially a long, like, it does piercing damage. So, bah, 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 bah. She can keep them all at a distance and do a ton of damage to them. Whether or not this lance has any powers beyond being able to transform into a violin, I don't think so. Let's see. There's also... There are a bunch of people who show her having, like... Especially, like, fan art and things like that, show her having, like puppet powers and, like, string stuff. But she doesn't really have any of that in her official lore. So good old Cecilia Immergreen. However... She is, while more durable, is not completely indestructible, as maybe some people later would be, or nigh indestructible. She will go down. I don't think she takes out. Let's see. Hold on, let me get through some stuff here. highly durable, but not indestructible disposition. Will fight. Has lance. Can keep self safe while attacking. Okay. She's also, let's see. She has the ability to fight, but she spent most of her time in Justice being a maid and or lazy. So she's probably not the most skilled fighter. I get the more I learn about Justice, the more I think they might be like their C or D team. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they're the best in their organization. In fact, I think they might be the team that they just gotta send off to do the jobs that no one else wants to. But aside from that, but yeah, I think she's beating a few, mostly just by sheer fact that she has a weapon that is actually usable. And now we get to the real powerhouses here. Sarah's Fauna. Powers. All of nature. The gorillas are in nature. She has power over these gorillas. Durability. She's lived for over 4 billion years. Let's see. Tied to natural order and health of nature rather than avatar form, allegedly. Actually, I think it's not Ellen, allegedly. Whatever. Allegedly. So I would assume that's really just like an avatar form. However, avatar forms can be one of two things. I say avatar like Avatar the Last Airbender, but avatar like, oh, this is like a form that this concept or extremely powerful being takes in order to be able to properly interact with the mortal world without annihilating anybody that beholds its true glory. So that's what I mean by avatar. Now, Sarah's Fauna, I'm pretty sure, is this avatar. However, this can go one of two ways. The avatar either makes them vulnerable, or the avatar is just, oh, it's just a throwaway body that I can use whenever I so feel like it. For Fauna, I think it actually more does make her vulnerable. However, that doesn't mean anything with her actual like offensive capabilities. Disposition. Will not want to fight, but will to protect self. All right, so as is what's about to be a theme, gorillas. What gorillas? Yeah, she's nature. 100 gorillas can attack her. She can just turn them into little leafy creatures. She can just turn them into saplings. Just like that. She can just turn them into something else. I think that's probably what she would do, because I just want to hurt them. It's just boop, boop. You're not a gorilla anymore. Yeah, a sapling. Oh, don't you like me? That kind of thing. This would be over in a second. She would barely have to even acknowledge their existence. It would be bad. Or well, it would be bad for the gorillas, I should say. But, oh yeah. That's about to become a theme with other Promise members, as we're about to see. Okay. So, On to Ruse. Ruse. Crimson Ruse. Powers. Big ass axe. Durability. Barbarian stats. Ruse is absolutely a barbarian coded. He's got a giant fuck off axe. He's scarred to hell and back. He's a frontline fighter. He's angry enough. He's going to be probably. I would say that in a straight up like durability match, Ruse could probably tank more than Axel can, because Axel's fighter coded, while Ruse is barbarian coded. So Ruse is going to have the higher HP pool. So Axel's going to actually need some decent armor there, while Ruse can just go in and use his chest hairs, or lack thereof in this case. So, disposition. Will jump straight into the fight. Now, for most people, okay, the disposition isn't going to matter so much for some people. It's going to matter a lot for others, which is why I included it. Most people are going to be like, hell yeah! Or like, oh, I'll protect myself when I need to. That's going to be most people. There's a few people specifically it's going to matter a lot for. There's a few people specifically it's going to matter a lot for. Ruse is not one of those people. However, Ruse does have a gigantic axe. That thing is massive. In fact, it probably weighs as much as a gorilla, and he just swings it around like crazy. That being said, it's slow. He's probably going to take out a few, but he's not going to take out about half. I think he's at about Cecilia level. Although I would say that he's probably beats more than Cecilia, because his weapon's just better. His weapon's better and he's stronger. Cecilia's more durable, but I feel like she's going to take less with her. So, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, so Axel's beating Cecilia, unfortunately. Ooh, next we have the Blood Queen, Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay, there we go. What? Oh. I was wondering why I wasn't drawing. No. There we go. Herb. Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. Giant sword. Ability to generate and control fire. Durability. Above average disposition. Will fight to protect others or self. When engaging in battle, goes all out. So here's the thing with Liz. She's going to leave everything on the battlefield. If she's fighting, she's going to go for it. She's going to use all of her magic. She's going to use all of her fire. She's going to go in sword swinging and be like, have at thee! Rah! And just... she's going to go for it. The big kicker here is that, unlike Cecilia, she actually has magic powers that were shown in both the beginning of like the little animated cinematic at the beginning of her debut, as well as in her opening screen, and whatnot. She can just make a whole bunch of fire and send it out and control it with the swinging of her sword. The gorillas have nothing that they can do to her. They're going to be absolutely freaked out by the fire, and they're going to be running. Some might try to attack her, but she has that huge sword that's just going to cleave through anyone that gets close. It's an easy win for Herb. Ooh, now we get to the ones that I was thinking I was actually having a hard time placing before. Yeah, this is an easy win for Herb. She still has a try, but it's an easy whip. It's easy whip. It's an easy whip for Werb. Alright. Now we have Fawawa. And here's the thing. I'm keeping Fawawa and Mokoko separate. Because this is each person separately. Which severely affects Fawawa specifically. Alright, powers. Let's see. So they are at least strong enough to smash through brick walls or like stone walls. That was shown in their teaser videos. That was shown in their debuts. Both her and Mokoko are at least strong enough to bust through stone walls. And potentially more so because their shenanigans were so much that it got them thrown into jail for 10 years. But not for 10 years, but 10,000 years. Just for being, what they are and breaking stuff about them. So, I think if we put it at, let's see, I think if I had to put them at like a level, I would say that I'll probably like City Block level. City Block level. They're going to be at about the power level of your average like Spider-Man villain. I think probably a good comparison is probably the Shocker from Spider-Man. Well, actually, maybe not the Shocker. Probably a better comparison is going to be Tombstone. Not Rhino, Tombstone. Because I realize Shocker has way bigger attacks, and he can affect a lot of stuff. Let's see. So yeah, put them at like Tombstone level, where they're probably going to have higher than average durability. Definitely they're going to have fire resistance due to the fact of them being demons, and I just assume fire resistance for all of them based off of D&D rules, as well as, let's see, as well as strength. City Block level, let's see, can tank most weapons and buildings falling on them. So, let's see, disposition. Let's see. We'll say they don't want to fight, then jump in anyways. Let's see. Now, here's the thing. I don't know with Fawawa if it's close to beating all or barely win. I'm going to put him in barely win for right now. Let's see. However, I'm actually going to put them in close to beating all for one specific reason. Once injured, will want to flee. Fawawa is much more of a coward than Mokoko. And if things are not going her way or things are getting tough, she's probably going to want to hightail it out of there, and it's probably going to leave her open to like attacks from the rear. So I think she'd probably get close, but she'd probably get tired and probably eventually get overwhelmed near the end. She's close, but not quite. She's close. Close, not quite. I might as well just go ahead and do Mokoko while we're at it, because a lot of the same stuff applies to her as well. Mokoko. City block level can take most weapons and buildings, falling in on them. Let's see. But here's where the disposition changes, and this is where it becomes very important. We'll jump in to fight. Won't go down easily. Won't go down easily. Will keep fighting injured. Also, on top of this, we know from their 3D lives that Mokoko's the better fighter, barely, than Fuwawa. But that's just in wrestling. And that's just against themselves. But let's see, how do I put this? Fuwawa has the manager's heart, while Mokoko has the barbarian's heart. Fuwawa wants to lead and not do. Mokoko just wants to get it done, and she will. It's going to be close, but I think she'll barely win. Does that sound about right? Oh boy, okay. Alright, then we have the most interesting one of the night. Gavus Battle Powers. Here's the thing. It's not that I don't know anything about Gavus. I actually watch him. I'm just generally trying to figure out what powers he has. Powers. Luck. That's it. That's literally it. Other than that, he's your most normal person. Let's see. Normal person with slightly worse immune system. There we go. Disposition. Will flee upon hearing the word gorilla. There we go. Alright, so Metal's the only one that ends up in both. Die before getting to gorillas, and I need to copy this man. And can I copy him? Hold on, do I have to copy him down here? No, it's just because he's in freaking both here. Actually, hold on. I need to add him twice. Hold up 1 second. I need to add him again. Oh man, is this going to get rid of everything I did? Oh, thank God, no. Okay. Metal's somehow in both of these. Because here's the thing. His power is luck. So that means that there's going to be some sort of shenanigans that are going to be at place here. He's going to hear the word gorilla, run outside, knock over a rake, try to get away, and somehow Mr. Magoo himself into burning down the forest where the gorillas are. I think he's gone into way more trouble, try to get away, and then go to a store and try to call someone to come pick him up, accidentally knock something off his shelf, and then get arrested for shoplifting. That's what's going to happen. It's one of those two. He either accidentally wins, no idea why, or he runs outside, trips on a branch, hits his head in a rock, and is dead. Those are the only two options. Those are the only two options. He's never going to see a gorilla in either of these scenarios, but both of them are just as likely to happen, strangely enough. Welcome to Gafaspedal. All right, and now we have who's about to be the next star of the show on Thursday, unfortunately. We have Gura. And I keep spelling her name Gwar, Gwar, whenever I look her up. It's Gawr. Let's see. Powers. Let's see. Trident. Trident. Water breathing. Let's see. Aquaman-esque powers. So she can breathe underwater. She has a trident. She's probably extremely fast. I would say she's based off a shark, so she's more durable and probably stronger than she looks. However, all water-based. So if these gorillas were in the ocean, they'd be screwed. Mostly because they would drown. Probably before Gura got to them. However, they're not. We're just kind of assuming that they're in an open field. Bros. Slightly above normal. Disposition. Will flee. She ain't fighting gorillas. Are you kidding me? She ain't putting up with that ish. Which means that when she eventually does have to turn around and go for the gorillas, she's going to be extremely hesitant, and she's probably going to let them surround her. I think she's probably going to get maybe one or two, but honestly, I think even CC outclasses her and how many she's going to be. Just because CC is more likely to just be like, oh yeah, get in here, gorillas, and actually like go and try to take down a couple. Whereas Gura's going to be too timid and just maybe like do some lucky stabs, get a couple, but it's going to be over after that. It's going to be over after that. Unfortunately. Sorry, Gwumbus, but you're not a fighter. Alright, then we have... I almost said CC. GG. Okay. Let's see. Powers. Fast. Prehensile tail. Power gauntlets. We do not know the extent of the power gauntlets. I'm assuming they're going to smart like the Dickens to get punched by them. But I don't know how much they're going to smart. She's also going to be very fast. She's going to be fast and slippery. Let's see. Durability. Above average. Above average. But she is prone to getting hurt, as you can see from her model and the various band-aids she has. She's not invincible by any means. Let's see. Disposition. We'll talk a big game, then get freaked out upon seeing the gorillas. Sorry, Gigi. I've seen you play horror games. You're gonna talk a big game, and then all of a sudden you're gonna see 100 gorillas running at you, and you're gonna be like, ah! And you're out of there.
And then once it becomes apparent that, oh, hey, I have to actually turn around and get these guys, you're going to be a little bit too freaked out, and you're going to make a lot of mistakes. I think you might damage some, but yeah. You definitely beat Haka. I'll give you that. I'm sorry. Now, if you locked in... Now, if she locked in and just cojone'd up and just like, oh yeah, here we go, and went in there like, what is it? Like, wow, what is that boxing anime? Like Tojo no Ippo? Yeah, if you just went Ippo on those on their asses and got in there and started doing like your stuff, you'd be up here. In fact, you'd probably beat Gura. You might even be Cece. There's no way you're beating Ruse. But you're gonna freak out and it's gonna put you here. I'm sorry. That's just how it goes. I don't make the rules. You do, unfortunately. Alright, next we have Gold Bullet. Powers. High powered. Sniper rifle. Gibby is a sniper. Durability. Slightly above. Average. Disposition. Just another hunt. It's going to be hunting no different than hunting corruption beasts in the Badlands. Pick a position where the gorillas won't see you and they won't know what it's coming from, and just start picking them off. Gibby wins this easy. This is an easy win. The only limiting factor in this is how much ammunition he has. If he's got 100 bullets, it's over. 100 or more bullets, it's over. If he has 100 or less, if he has less than 100 bullets, now things are getting interesting. If he has less than 100 bullets, it's close. But for however many bullets he has, that's how many gorillas he can kill. So, and assuming that he has full access to his weapon at all times, which I am with everybody here, it's only fair to assume that he would just have enough ammunition to finish it. Easy win. Gorillas never even find him. And now we come to the most esoteric one. So we have... I almost put Hakos Bales. Hakos Bales. Powers. Chaos. Incarnate, who strangely loves music and dancing, which are all very orderly. Durability. I don't think this is measurable. She's literally chaos made flesh. Disposition. Doesn't want to hurt them, but will make it quick once she has no choice. Let's see. I don't think the gorillas could ever actually hurt her. She's like a demigod-like being. Now, she's definitely beating Betel. I don't think she's beating them quite as easily as Fauna, because they are directly underneath like Fauna's purview. So she can just be like, oh, you're saplings now, or you're something else now, and that's it, it's done. Snap of her fingers. Bales would probably have to come up with something also due to the randomness of the powers, Bales would have to come up with something a little bit more interesting. It'd probably be a few more explosions, but she'd get the job done. It'd probably be a pretty messy too. But Fauna is just total domination, while Bay is just slightly below that. Yeah, but easy peasy. Oh my god. What? Promise members being overpowered? What? Then we have Iris. Powers. Let's see. Nephilim. Angel and demon powers. I always thought Nephilim were... I don't think in like mythology Nephilim were actually like mixtures of angels and demons. I'm pretty sure they were mixtures of angels and humans. And in fact, a lot of like the very early, let's see, like very, very, very early, I don't know about this. But if I'm remembering correctly, especially in like, not Christian theology, but Christian mythology. Theology is different than mythology, but like stuff that has persisted from like old and Bible times that are actually part of like the theology itself, was that a lot of the people that were like giants or whatnot were like descendants of Nephilim, and I think that might be mentioned in, I don't know, I feel like I remember somewhere where it was like Goliath in like the David and Goliath story was like a descendant of a Nephilim or something like that, or that was mentioned. I don't know. Anyways, I'm off topic. But she has the powers of heaven and hell. She is the embodiment of hope. She is she in all but name is the Pandora from Pandora's Box. She can fly. Durability. Let's see. I would put her as probably like city level power. Like she could probably destroy a city. By the way, if ever you hear people like, oh yeah, they're like city block or like city level power or like country level power or like planet level power, that refers to something that they could destroy by themselves. So saying someone is city level means that they could probably level a city on their own. I would say Iris is probably about there. I don't think it's going to be quite the wash like it is with the other Promise members, but let's see. Extremely difficult to hurt. You probably need either like weapons that are demonic or angelic in nature to even like hurt her, and even then it would probably be lessened. Disposition will not want to fight, will keep distance if they need to. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is an easy win for Iris, but it's not going to be quite as flashy. She's probably going to be definitely more powerful than Liz, but not, not quite on the level of the other Promise members. All right. All right, and now we get to the other person I actually just don't know a lot about. I don't know a lot about Axel, and I don't know a lot about Shinri's powers. Joe. I also always forget to spell the first part of his name. Josuiji. I know it's Josuiji, but I can never remember how to spell Josuiji. There we go. Josuiji. Shinri. I don't know a lot about Shinri. I don't even know. I still don't even know Zora. He's the one I know the least about. This one arrow shall be payback for Dragon Gate Sleep. A Ronin, who was part of the Adventure Guild Tempest, has the appearance of a one-wick samurai, but was widely known as a master of the longbow. So famed was his prowess. They would say he could use anything as an arrow and yet never fail to hit his mark. He went in isolation for a while, lamenting the futility of war, but took up his bow and arrow once again after witnessing young men fighting a pack of corruption beasts. Okay, I didn't know he was an archer. That changes things dramatically. He's definitely going to be... Let's see. The problem is if this is a magic longbow or not. Because Gibby is just... Bro's just got a sniper rifle. Sorry, but in terms of raw power, a sniper rifle is going to beat a longbow. However, going off the same rules we apply for Gibby, that he's going to have enough ammunition to finish the job, that means Shinri's also going to have enough arrows to finish the job. However, longbows can be devastating, but a longbow is not going to kill a gorilla in one hit. And here's the thing. He is an archer. Let's see. Incredibly skilled. Oh wait, hold on. My music switched. I don't want this. Actually, I kind of do want this. I don't want to be going through the MVs. Oh, I've been going through these for a while. There we go. Okay. Hey, alright. Sorry, I had to switch the music back. Okay. Incredibly skilled archer. Durability. Let's see. It's going to be above average. I can't spell. Above average. Disposition. Will fight. Will fight. But is a... I can't spell today. Backlines fighter. Here's the thing. Shinri works best in a group. If he's got someone else a tank, if he's got an Axel or an Altair up there, pull an aggro, bro's going to be doing some serious work. It's like in solo leveling, there's that one S rank Japanese hero, fighter, I forget the term that they use, hunter, who used like magic, who's like a bow and like magic arrows. He's going to be like that guy. He's going to be putting in work, hitting weak points and whatnot, but he needs someone to distract him. However, the problem is that is he going to be able to shoot enough arrows fast enough to stop all of these 100 gorillas freaking bum rushing him? So he can always hit his mark, which means that he can hit him in the eyes and things like that and probably kill him with one shot. And a longbow arrow is no joke. That thing's like 2-3 feet long. They're basically like miniature spears. However, they don't fire fast. There's a long draw, aim, let go. Even if he's firing like this, he's not going to be able to fire. Even if he's firing as fast as he possibly can, I doubt he's being able to kill 100 before they're on him. And he also, where Gibby outshines him in this, is that sniper rifles are loud. These are gorillas. These are animals. They are not going to want to go near that sound. They are going to freak out. they are going to run, and especially when they see people getting hurt around them, they're probably going to trample each other in their fear, and then he's just going to pick them off, and there's not going to be a single one that's going to want to come close to him, because they're going to hear a loud noise, associate that with being hurt and death, and they're just going to hide. Gibby's weapon has a very clear advantage over this. Shinri's weapon does not, because bows are silent. Now, if he can be real sneaky and start picking them off, he could maybe go Assassin's Creed on 100 gorillas. Maybe. It depends on how sneaky he is. But assuming that they're just on like a wide open field, they'll probably see him eventually, and they'll see him attacking him, and they'll bum rush him. Let's see. I'm really stuck between destroy about half or execute after beating a few. I'm gonna say about half. Because he's not at the disadvantage that Furuz is of having to get up in their faces immediately. But at the same time, once they get close, and especially if they can disarm him, it's over for him. It's over for him. But I think he's probably going to do... He's going to do better than most people. Most of the Ian boys, unfortunately. Except for maybe Altair. All right. Next we got... Let's see. Gerard. I almost said I-T... Rex Fart. No. You heard that story about the time he was going to beat Yofi. Ollie. But he's had to like stretch before him and just like rip the largest fart. Anyways. Bro was a walking disaster. He needs to get his life together. Alright. Powers. Dino mode. He can go dino or something where he grows a tail, and I would assume his durability goes up because he grows some scales as well as his teeth get sharp. So he can go dino mode, which I assume makes him more feral, and I would guess raises his durability and may raise his attack power, but most likely not because he's using guns. Gerard is unfortunately a very charisma-focused class. He's a swashbuckler. That's what he really is. If you're not familiar with what a swashbuckler is, it's like a mixture between a bard and a rogue, but without the magical powers. And instead they use like the charisma to feint and trick people and knock people off their feet and to get around their defenses to deal a killing blow. That's what his class is, which is great in solo combat. He's fighting 100 gorillas. Dino mode. Twin pistols. Durability. Above average. Boosted by Dino mode. Presumably. Disposition. Hell yeah. Let's kick ass. He's gonna jump in there, he's gonna get at it. Now, he does have the same advantage that Gibby does, where he has a loud weapon. However, unlike Gibby's weapon, Gibby can just stay as far back as he wants and just start picking them off. And the gorillas are they're probably going to have no idea he's even the one that's shooting and killing them. They're going to have no idea that. They just know there's an incredibly loud noise over there and they're getting hurt. Plus, Gibby's is a lot louder. Handguns are no joke. They're freaking loud. You definitely do not want one to go off next to your ear. It might cause permanent hearing damage. However, it would probably spook them, but you also have to get a lot closer. And gorillas, while being animals, are still pretty smart, and if they realize, hey, this guy who's running at us shooting is going to hurt us, they're going to go crazy and try to take him out. So, unfortunately, Gerard, you, as with most people, are going to end up here. Now, the real question is if he takes out more than Ruse. I think he's going to take out a few more than Ruse, just by the sheer fact that he's going to be able to be attacking more as he comes up to them. Ruse is going to be able to do more damage with one attack, but he's going to get in fewer attacks, because he has to get up right next to them before he can do anything. And then he can just be easily swarmed. Gerard, on the other hand, can actually get some shots in. He's not the most accurate shot, so it's probably... he's not the most accurate shot, though. And a single handgun shot, even if it is like a Magnum or like a Deagle, like these look like, they're going to do some damage. But one shot, especially if it's like a chest shot, unless you're hitting the heart directly, isn't even going to kill a human in one shot, let alone a gorilla. So this is hard. This is hard, actually. Who takes out more, Gerard or Ruse? I just don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Ruse is going to beat him out a little bit. No. I think Ruse is going to beat him out, actually. Because he's going to do more damage, because each one of Ruse's swings can kill at least one gorilla, if not two or more. Because they're going to be these huge sweeping strikes. They're going to be slow, but he can... Bro's incredibly strong. Just the sheer inertia of that alone is absolutely cleave straight through a gorilla. So actually, I think Ruse actually is going to take out more than him. Just by the sheer fact that Gerard relies a lot more on doing a lot of shots rather than precise shots. So he's going to be doing a lot of damage, but none of it's going to be lethal. Well, not a lot of it's going to be lethal, or at least immediately lethal. They'll still have some time where they're going to kick around and especially punch and tear limb from limb around before they actually take him down. All right, now speaking of taking down, we have Koseki Bijou, the Gem of Emotions. Tower powers. Drives people crazy the longer they are, I forgot a word, they are around her. That's one of the things that people forget. It was brought up in her hologram, but Bijou's lore is that, or Bibi's lore is that the fact she was locked away because anytime people were around her, her mere presence alone would drive them insane. Let's see. She's also hard as a diamond. Actually, hold on. That's in durability. Let's see. Magic. Crystal. Powers. Flight. Sick. If I can spell it right. Sick. Sword. Skills. Okay. Durability. Hard as a diamond. There's not a single fucking thing these gorillas can do to her. However, she will not want to hurt the gorillas, but will fight if she must. So, she's deeply not going to want to hurt the gorillas. However, she'll get in there and tussle it up if she needs to. So, but at the end of the day, there's nothing these gorillas can do to hurt her. In fact, just them attacking her would hurt them and probably break their hands. Also, on the fact, not needless to say, she brings the fact that she has, canonically, an incredibly sharp sword named Tomato that is based off of Virgil's sword from Devil May Cry. So it's crazy sharp, is infused with her own like crystal magic powers, and she's also incredibly fast with it. Also, she can fly. She can shoot beams, because canonically the pebbles can shoot lasers out of their crystals, so can she. She's probably the most powerful admin member, with a huge asterisk next to that. We'll get to that in a bit. But this is an easy win. In fact, I would say she probably even outclasses Iris in this. She probably even outclasses Iris. It's not like these two who can just wave their hands and make the gorillas go away. She still actually has to fight, but it's not a contest. Speaking of not a contest, we have good old Machina X Phleon. Powers. Arthrus. Arthrus. Which I can't spell today. Which is a fucking mech. I'm going to pull up a picture of Arthrus. Again, Xpleon. Arthrus, there it is. Okay. No, I don't want to know. Arthrus, there we go. Which, look at this thing. Look at its giant weapon on the side. It can fly. It has claws. Bro just has a mech. The only thing that limits him is how much power he has to it. And if we're assuming that Shinri and Gold Bullet have enough to finish the job, then so does he. Durability, a flying mech. Disposition, this is so easy, it feels wrong. You won't like doing it, but he'll probably just fly above them and just try to pick them off as fast as possible. He will not want to drag this out. I don't know if he's beating Iris. He's definitely beating Liz, but it's an easy win. I don't think he beats Iris. Definitely doesn't beat Bibu. Bibu would stomp him in a billion different ways, but yeah, no. And now we come to some interesting people that I don't really know a lot about, because there's not really a lot about them. Well, there is a lot about them. We have Magni. Magni Desmond. He is an alchemist. He has, frankly, an extremely cool design. The cloak with the the cloak that's 6 arms is so cool. Let's see. Powers. Alchemy. Six-armed cloak. Durability. Above. Average. Before. Enhancements. Bro's an alchemist. And one thing I think it's kind of hard to see in this picture, but Bro's also augmented his own body. There's like little like... So those arms that are on his cloak, he can take control of them. Let me see if I can bring them up a better picture of him. It's actually a really cool character design. It's really, really, really cool. That's not a very good picture. No. Wait, what is this? Okay, no, we can't see it here. Can you see it here? Yeah, you can see it here a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, so this cloak has 6 arms in it. He can take control of those arms by... Let me zoom in a bit. If I can. Nope. None of that worked. Okay, there we go. We can see a little bit better here. Yeah. All right. So he can take control of those arms. You see those little gold discs on his arms? Those spikes in there attach to those sections on his arms, and he can take control of them. And he can actually use them much stronger than his normal arms, obviously. But the thing that is the most important about this is that he is an alchemist. I don't know if it's an alchemist like Full Metal Alchemist, but I think it actually is more like the potion-y kind of stuff. And assuming that everybody else has full access to their arsenal, so does he. Disposition I can't speak to very well. Disposition, I'm just going to put a question mark because I honestly don't know. But, I mean, Bro can just bring a poison bomb and let it go. He's an alchemist. It's not going to be hard for him to brew something like that. Bring in some alchemist fire, let it out. This is an easy win. It's definitely, I think he's beating Liz because Liz actually is going to have to tussle it up. But he just has to bring a couple things. If I was him, I'd probably bring some sort of accelerant that was heavier than air and stuck close to the ground, and I'd throw it at a bunch of it and just kind of let it take over let it seep into the local area, and then just throw an alchemist fire in there and boom. Watch everything go. He's going to have a lot easier time than Liz. It's going to take more planning, but he's going to have a lot easier time than Liz. But he's not going to have nearly as easy time as Flayon or anybody else. But yeah, easy win. He just has... He can just... Mostly because he can just make whatever he needs to clear this out as fast as possible. If he wants to... Even if he just wants to make just something that'll put them all to sleep forever. It won't even feel a thing. He can just do that. He's an alchemist. He can do that. Alright, then we have Miss Mori Calliope. Powers. Death. Apprentice. Wait, is she an assistant reaper or an apprentice reaper? Hold on. This I want to get right, because I can never remember. She's one of those two. Or Calliope. I hate all like the doxing stuff. It comes up whenever you search. That sucks, bro. The Grim Reaper's first apprentice. She's an apprentice. Okay. Yeah, Death Apprentice. Grim Reaper Apprentice. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's get this right. Let's see. Apprentice to the Grim Reaper. Let's see. Durability. Let's see. Almost literally death incarnate. You cannot kill that which is already dead. And she is almost literally death incarnate. Not quite. Her boss is that. The Grim Reaper himself is that. But yeah, disposition will fight to protect self and friends without hesitation. Yeah, Mori is absolutely in the gorillas. What gorillas tier? The only question is if she beats out Fauna. In sheer carnage, she would beat out Fauna. I don't know if she would beat out Bay in carnage. She definitely beats Betel, that's for sure. Oh man. I think I gotta put him lower because she's not quite a cosmic entity while these two are, you know? That's the only thing that holds her back. Alright, then we got Miss Mume. The Moons, the Memes, the Momzos. I'm gonna put Mamashi. Nashi. Mume. Doesn't Mume mean nameless? Hold on. I've been thinking about this recently. Nashi Mume name meaning. Let's see, Nashi means Nashi and Mume meaning anonymous or nameless in Japanese. This is a reference to her character's amnesia and inability to recall her original name. Using 7 poetry, while the letter is used in her name, is more commonly understood as meaning nameless or no name. Mume, meaning nameless or anonymous. Okay, so her name just means like nameless, anonymous. But it can also refer to poetry. That's pretty cool. Yeah. However, powers. Civilization. Oh. This song had to come on right now. This is her, right? Yeah, this is her. Oh. I hope she's doing well. She's probably cried a lot today. She's probably going to cry a lot for a bit. But that's okay. Bay was right. You gotta cry before you can get to the happy. Let's see. Durability. Civilization incarnate. Listen, the reason why I can never play those typing games because of my I got the ADHD that makes it so that I know exactly how to spell everything, but I just skip letters because my brain feels like it. So I can never play those like typing games because every time I type out something, I have to stop, go back, and fix everything that I wrote in there. Because I have extra letters in the stuff that I wrote. I miss letters. I hit the space at the wrong time because I'm just going... Then I have to go back and fix everything. Every time I type something. I can't just like type something out and send it. It's impossible for me. Literally impossible. So when I hear there are people that just type things out and send it, that's crazy to me. I have to reread absolutely everything I read. Or absolutely everything that I type. I have to proofread it, which is honestly good, especially working in a professional environment, but is annoying. And it means I can never play a typing game. Disposition. Them fuckers dead. I don't think she would want to hurt the gorillas, but if they're coming at her, they're fucking dead. Now, I don't think it's going to be... I do think she's probably going to use her weapons at her disposal. She's going to slaughter them, but it's not going to be quite as fast or as, like, one-sided finger snap as it is with Fauna. Who can just end the fight in an instant. Mostly because I think that she would actually get in there and tussle it up with them. She would actually like have some fun with it. So, also Civilization is not nearly as old as these other two. So even though she is like a core concept incarnate, it's a much younger one, you know? So it's not quite as refined and powerful. Now, speaking of powerful, we got to a very interesting person. We have Miss Nerissa Ravencroft. Powers. Let's see. Destructive. Song. Magic. Demon. Magic. Can fly. Durability. Let's see. Demon. Durability. And resistances. However, weaker than normal. All right, so Miss Nerissa Ravencroft. With her horn, she's Miss Nerissa Ravencroft. She's the reason why Bibu has an asterisk for the most powerful. She's the reason why Bibu has an asterisk as the most powerful Advent member. Because the second most powerful member is... Well, she's one of the reasons why... Actually, Bibu is either second or third, because I just remembered Shiori exists. And I just stopped and thought about Shiori for a second. I was like, maybe, no. Okay. Bibu has a lot of asterisks. Actually, no, she has that one asterisk. Nerissa at full power is probably more powerful than Bibu, with both her horns. Nerissa at kind of half power, like she is with a broken horn. Not so much. She can still fly. She still has singing magic. She still has demon magic, which she mostly uses for, shall we say, personal comfort related reasons. But yeah. She's nowhere near as powerful as she was. Let's see. It used to be that just people hearing her voice could kill them. I would put her at about
With Horn, she's at about county level. Not quite like state level, but like multiple like townships would need to fear her. With her horn, without her horn, she's probably somewhere between city block and like city level. I know in the hologram she got so gay she blew up the world, but that's not always the best indicator. Yeah, that makes me that's such a funny thing. I think about all the time. In her hologram episode, she got so gay for Kiara she blew up the entire world. Just so funny. Anyways, disposition. Now this for Nerissa specifically is where disposition becomes extremely important. Because I think that this would be an easy win for her. However, she is a scaredy cat. Will forget to use magic and panic when being attacked. Good old wet cat. Good old wet cat. She's probably going to forget what she can do, and once there's 100 gorillas running at her, she's probably more likely to panic and try to run and forget to use her magic, or be, frankly, so nervous and panicked that she can't even use it effectively because it revolves around her singing. So, I think because of this, normally for her powers, this would probably be an easy win, but it actually fully knocks her down to barely win. Like, her disposition is so bad for fighting, it fully knocks her down one. I think she definitely beats out Mokoko, unfortunately. Sorry, Mokoko. Nerissa's got you beat there. But what should have been just a trouncing, she's probably going to get out of there with cuts and bruises and a lot of crying. I don't think the gorillas will be able to kill her, because eventually at some point she'll get her druthers about her. She'll figure out that she can just fly above them, and they'll be shrieking and hollering at her underneath, and she'll eventually find that center and be able to sing and whatnot, but she's going to get banged and bruised before that happens. For sure. Who is singing this one? I forgot. Oh, it's Fauna. I had a realization about Hollow Ian during Fest this year. Now that Fauna is gone, I'm not going to say it out loud. But with Fauna gone, unfortunately, Shiori takes over a spot that Fauna was filling. However, Shiori's getting a lot better, I will say. Shiori's getting a lot better at her singing. But I think she's actually going and seeing... I think she's actually, like, practicing and working with a coach. But Fauna... Fauna, yeah, I loved her, but I didn't tune into many of her karaoke streams. If you know what I mean. Anyways. Alright, there we have Nino, my Inez. Wait, where's the apostrophe in her name? This is important. Why am I not typing? Why am I not typing?
Why am I not typing? Excuse me, what's going on here? I put it in the right place, yay! Okay, Ninomai Inanus. Powers. Eldritch. Entity. Bound to her. Durability. Let's see. Ina. Average human. But it's not Ina herself we're dealing with. Tentacles. Unknown. Disposition. Will not want to fight and will flee, but that does not matter because it is not Ina that will be fighting. It is her tentacles. Ina just has to sit there, or preferably, or more accurately, probably curl into a ball there. Close her eyes and the tentacles are going to take care of everything. They will protect her. There's nothing in the world that these gorillas can do to an eldritch being as taking a liking to someone and chosen to protect them. This is going to be an easy yet traumatic win. She's probably only just edging out Goldie because she's not going to directly attack. But not nearly as clean or as flashy as Liz or anybody else. But there will be no harm to come to her. But there will be a horror of dead gorillas around her when it's over. That is a fact. That is a fact. I think it's similar to... let's see. Probably be similar to, like... my original thought was it would be similar to, like, if she has a symbiote, but that's not quite what it is. Because even... I think even, what's his name? Oh my god, I forgot. The guy... Venom! Even Venom would probably struggle against 100 gorillas. Unless it's like that roided out Venom from the Spider-Man 2 game. That dude was crazy. That was also King of Black Venom, so that's a different... I don't know much about that, but I know that's like a different breed altogether. Anyways. Alright, then we have... But yeah, no harm will come to Ina, but she will need a shower afterwards. We have Vesper Noir. Powers. Vampire. Abilities. I don't know how good he is at the mesmerizing. I don't think that would work. Well, it does work particularly well on animals. It probably would work pretty well on... my brain died. Actually, he is a vampire, right? I can just look this up. Vesper Noir. Yeah, where's that? Yeah. Vesper Noir. In his childless nature that allows him to speak so freely about his dreams, he might even actually let everyone around him know it. Adventure Guild's academic advisor. He also holds the position of custodian and art scholar to the Grand Library. Although, in irrational times, he doesn't lift a finger unless completely convinced of something. He has an aversion to sunlight due to spending too long cooped up, absorbed in his research. Isn't he a vampire? His lore is that he was a vampire, right? Because he absolutely has the vampire look. So I'm going off of the fact that he was a vampire, because that's always what I thought. But he's a vampire. Actually, no, I don't think he is a vampire. Well, no. If we're going off of just the official stuff, then I can't assume Amelia is a time traveler as well, because that's actually not official lore. But I think it's just hinted at that he's a vampire, but never said outright. But even though, whatever. So I'm going off the fact that he's a vampire, because that's the most generally accepted thing. So he definitely has regular vampire powers. However, we're not talking like Dracula level stuff here. We're not even talking Alucard. We're not even talking the entire Castlevania series level. He's probably just like above average. Let's see. Above average. Also, this part of the song is the most replayed part of this Eurobeat mix. I think it's because it came out like right after Ame graduated. It was like the same week that she graduated, if I'm not mistaken. So it's really funny. It's not really funny. It's actually, it kind of made me tear up a little bit. But you know how in YouTube, you can see like, oh, what part do people replay most? The middle part of this song is, most people just play this the entire way through. It's like a even bar all the way across. Then as soon as it gets to this part, there's a huge spike of people looking for like the middle part of this song. It starts here in like, just a second. Yeah, this part right here is the most replayed part. Like this silent bridge of Chikutaku. Or the second verse, actually. Oh. That makes me kind of sad. But it also makes me a little happy at the same time. I'm glad that she can come back. Alright. Durability above average. Vampire abilities. He's going to be... Let's see. Can't actually kill without exploiting weaknesses. So staking to the heart, sunlight, cutting off the head, the basics. Let's see. Disposition. Will flee and try not to fight, which will be his undoing. I very much doubt. Bro is not a fighter. Bro is a scholar. Which really bites him in the butt, because I very much doubt he's going to be able to kill all the gorillas before the sun comes up. Even if he starts right when the sun sets, I don't think he's going to be able to kill all the gorillas before the sun comes up. And then even if he finds a good place to hide, one of the gorillas just has to find him while he's hiding, punch him into the sunlight, and it's over. I think it's going to be pretty... Let's see. So with him, I don't know if it's going to be about half or close to all. Because he's still a vampire. But 100 gorillas is a lot of gorillas. I think it's going to put him around half. Bro's still going to be able to do some work, but it's going to be really difficult, and I don't think he's going to do it before the sun comes up, and he's just toast, literally, at that point. Sorry, man. All right. Then we have... I just realized I don't know Octavio's full name. Octavio Hall of Stars. Is it just Octavio? No, it's not just Octavio. That can't be it. It is just Octavio. Okay, I wasn't crazy. It is just Octavio. Okay. Let me have Octavio. There's one thing I don't know. Powers. Okay, let's go for this. Powers. Can control people and monsters with invisible puppet strings. Octavio is maybe the best party member that Gerard could ever have. Because he can just hold him in place while he just pumps them full of lead. And everyone else wails on them. Octavio is like a weird off-tank. He's absolutely a caster class. But he's a CC caster, not a damage caster. Everybody else has the damage ability, which is why their main tank is a barbarian. Although, to be fair, main tank being a barbarian isn't that bad. Let's see. But the real kicker is how many gorillas can he control at once? Because if he can control all the gorillas at once, it's over. He just has them all fight each other and kill each other. And also, the real kicker is how long he can control them for. Because if they can get close to him, it's over. He's a caster. Bro's going down. Slightly above average. Cannot spell today. Caster stats. All right. So now the thing with his magic though is that I don't know the limits of it because it is magic. It's not like Goldie or Shinri where we just have to assume that they're going to have enough ammunition to finish the job. Now, if it's something where he actually has to have actual string with him, then yeah, he's going to have enough ammunition to finish the job. I don't know the limits of what he can do. So this is either... He's like Schrodinger's... I genuinely don't know where to put him on this list. Because I think he's somewhere between these four, depending on how many he can control. If he can control all of them, I think he's even beating like Flayon, because he can just be like, you're done. Actually, he might, I don't think he's definitely not Bibu level, that's for sure. Or Iris level. If he can control all of them at once, he's up there. If he can't control all of them at once, depending on how many he can control, it could be anywhere. He's definitely beating a bunch. I think I'm going to put him in barely win. Because I do think that he's most likely going to win, but I don't know to what extent he's going to win. Because I just don't know how many he can control at once. I've seen him do 3, that's about it. So, anyways. Oh yeah, disposition. Will relish the fight from a distance. He's not going to get up and mix it up. And especially if he can stay hidden, it's going to be a barely win. Because they have to go around this Assassin's Creed style. But yeah, I think barely wins probably the best, because I think most likely he's going to win, but it's going to be a struggle. I still think Gibby has the easiest time with this. Just because he has such a high-powered sniper rifle and can just start picking them off And assuming they don't go crazy and just start bum rushing him, which they're not smart enough to do, then it's over. It's over. All right. Then we have Oro. Crony. Powers. Time Incarnate. Durability. Infinity. Literally. She is time. She always was, always has been. Disposition. Just stop. I cannot type today. Or write today. Just stop bothering me. The only real question is if she beats Fauna. That's the only real question. In fact, I would say that she does. Because she can just turn them all to dust. Just accelerate them to nothing. Probably in an instant without even thinking about it. She probably had to think about it. As well as everything else around there. Just she can turn the flesh, the bones. She can even affect the molecules. She can even have the molecules and atoms that make them up experience atomic decay and fly apart. So that literally not even a trace is left of them. You'd be picking gluons out of stars of 3 billion miles away, trying to find even the barest hint of these gorillas. They're toast. Oro Crony is time incarnate. Gorillas ain't got shit on her. Okay. And you can take that to the bank. Alright. Next we have Rara Panthera. Powers. Big Cat. Oh. What is this? When did this come out? I don't even know what this is. Minecraft? I don't even know what this is. Alright, back to the Eurobeats. Yay! Oh my god. Oh, poor False ID. Bro said he was working on a video, and he wasn't lying. It's 55 minutes long. I don't know how Bro got that done. Anyways. Speaking of 55 minutes long, I need to finish this up. Alright, Big Cat. God Eyes can see anything anywhere. And she has that little, like, stabby finger glove thing. Durability. Not slightly above average. Slightly above average. Disposition. Running in fear. She is not going to attack these things. She is trying to get as far away as possible. She is going to be faster than them. That's sure. That's for sure. But she ain't beating a single one of these guys. God Eyes don't help her at all. Being a big cat means that she has some more maneuverability and speed. But her weapon is utterly useless against them unless she's like extremely go with it, extremely aggressive, use her speeds to get in there and like stab them through the eyes and into the brain. Like she'd have to go for instant kills, like instant, I have to hit them with this one shot, and I have to kill them with this, or it's all overkills. Because if one gets their hands on her, she's toast. She's utterly toast. So, I'm sorry, Raura Panthera, but first one kills you. Let's see. She will live longer than Haka. Not as long as Gigi. I'm starting to think 90% of Justice's successive missions was just Liz. You see those memes? It's like Justice at 100% strength, Justice at 99% strength, and it's everybody but this one guy. Liz is 99% of the strength of Justice. For sure. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Now we have come to the guild leader. The leader. Regis. Altair. Powers. Ice. Magic. I believe he has a sword and shield too, right? Or does he have a spear? Ice magic. Let's see. Above. Average. Fortified. Further by ice armor. Disposition. Will fight if needed. Yeah, much like Liz, ice magic. Ice magic. Ice magic. He can just summon shards of ice and do it over everyone. I think he's definitely going to outclass Liz. Because Liz actually has to get in there and throw some fireballs. She's going to actually tussle it up, and fire doesn't immediately kill. It's going to singe, but doesn't immediately kill. Altair can just crush, pierce, destroy, kill, whatever he needs to do. It's not going to be quite as quick as Shinri, or as Mag. Actually, he might be. I think the real matchup is I don't know if he beats Artrus or not. I think Artrus. Artrus has more maneuverability and it's probably going to be a little bit quicker, just because it's going to be just fire in the laser cannon. But yeah, no. Altair can take it. Now we come to Shiori. Shiori is another one where disposition is going to matter a lot. Also, we don't know the full nature of Shiori. Because remember how I said I like theory crafting? Shiori is either A, some sort of corrupted human, formerly human, who has been given forbidden knowledge and is now in some sort of altered mortality where she most likely doesn't age anymore and has altered physiology to match. She also has the ability to summon and create ink monsters, ink tentacles, lots of things out of the stories that she consumes. She has a giant pair of scissors. She can share said forbidden knowledge and absolutely annihilate people's minds with it. However, that's probably not going to work on a gorilla. They're not smart enough for that. Also, one thing that people forget is in her teaser video, she is shown being able to blow things up by looking at them. So everybody knows that Shiori's eyes can light up, but her eyes have two modes other than normal. She has high beams and apparently high impact explosives, because the teaser for Advent starts off with her eyes opening, lighting up, sparking, and then everything around her exploding. Shiori either found some way to get explosive runes into her cell, or she finally figured out how to blow up the runes that were keeping her with her mind. I think it was most likely the latter, because she would have had no contact with the outside world. So she figured out, other than like her fellow cellmates, so she figured out how to destroy the runes and the spells that are keeping her in place by just blowing them up with her mind. Shiori can blow things up by looking at them. Shiori can blow things up by looking at them. She's also incredibly smart. Powers. Intelligence. Can summon an army of ink. That R looks like it. Oh. Creatures. Can blow things up with her mind. Durability. Unknown. No longer human. Potentially immortal. Disposition. This is where things get very important with Shiori. Hates to see others get hurt. Especially animals. This is where things get very interesting. And this is the second person where disposition matters a lot. Shiori would probably break down crying if she had to hurt a gorilla and be next to unable to do it. She would probably honestly have to fear for her life before she would act. She'd be like, oh, it's just a cute little gorilla. I don't want to hurt it. I don't think there's anything that gorillas could do in the end to beat her. So I'm going to put her in the barely win. But it would be an easy win if it wasn't for the fact that literally no part of her would want to have anything to do with harming these creatures, and it would be torture for her to do so. So yeah, it would be an easy win otherwise, but no, she wouldn't want to hurt them. Nerissa would have an easier time doing it, mostly because of the fact that she can fly. But now there is another factor here. Because this could actually, strangely enough, with Shiori, could go from a barely win to gorillas, what gorillas, so fast. Because Shiori's whole thing is that she's an archiver, but she's, like, consumes the stories that she's in. And I think one thing that nobody talks about is we are all assuming that Shiori is currently in her base universe, and we aren't currently a story that she's consuming. The way I see it, there are two possibilities with the Shiori. One, she's in her base universe, where she was as kind of what we expect for a power level, where she's definitely going to be nigh immortal, very difficult to kill just because we don't know what's been done to her. Because something has been done to her, probably more similar to what's been done to Ina, but it's affecting her physically rather than just protecting her physically like it is with Ina. She definitely has magical abilities. She's definitely smart enough to be able to use them. So, base universe, all the stuff that I just described. If this is not her base universe, and she is currently and we are currently just a story that she is currently in, and therefore consuming, then that means that she is a universe level threat. Because to us, because to her, we are just a story. It might seem like existence to us, but we are just the story. And as the moments of our existence pass, and we consider them just to be our daily lives, she is consuming everything that came behind. So instead of it being written down for others to be able to view, it's slowly being absorbed as we go along. And we don't notice this Eldrix universal Galactus level being that is slowly consuming our existence, that's slowly consuming our past as we move forward into the future. Now, this assumes that she knows that she's doing this. Okay, so there's two things. Either A, this is their base universe, and she's just what I have on here. B, she's a universe level Galactus type being that is slowly consuming our past as we move forward into the future. Whereas normally in a story, everything that we do, have done, and will do is written down. Right now, we only have our are doing and will do, and everything that we have done has been consumed by her. That's a much better way of saying it. And once we run out of will do's, then we become a have been eaten now. In other words, once our stories runs out, she completely consumes us. So, if she is that being to us, then there's two options in that. I guess three options in that. I guess two. One, she knows she's doing it. And she's deliberately doing that, so we can just kind of live out our lives and enjoy it, while she also lives out her life with us, because she likes this story a lot, and she wants to see where it goes and see all the nooks and crannies, and she loves the people in it. Which is why she's not just consuming everything, our currently doings and our will do's, only our have dones. Or she's hopped through so many stories that she has no idea that this isn't her base universe anymore, and she's still consuming but has no idea that she's doing it. And one day she'll get to the end of the story and realize what she was this entire time, and then she'll be able to leave. That's a possibility. Long story short, Shiori's either just a very powerful being, or she's the being that's consuming our entire universe. It's one of those two options. There's no others, unfortunately, with her. So, we'll put her in barely win for right now. Because we just don't know. Actually, hold on, I'm going to add another image. Hold on, I'm going to find this. So I can kind of represent this. Let's see. Novella. Novelite. There we go. I want an image of this. I'm going to add this little guy. Oh, thank God, it's so not a WebP. All right, we're gonna put this in here. Let's see. Not elite. Okay, and then we're gonna add this image. Un segundo. I'm so glad I don't have display capture. Yay, okay. And submit. All right, we got this little guy. I'm gonna put this guy up there to represent the possibility that is Shiori consuming everything. Anyways, so we don't have to deal with that now. Anyways, let's move on to Takanashi Kiara. Takanashi Kiara, powers. Phoenix, sword, and shield. Fire powers. Although, from what I've noticed, Liz has shown more firepower than her, but it's probably just because she's better at using her firepower, because she's had a lot longer to do it. Durability cannot be fully killed. Will always regenerate. Disposition will fight if needed. All right. I think for Kiara, it's going to be a pretty easy win. It's really the issue if from what I've seen, she's probably more powerful than Altair. Yeah, because they're actually like mythic beings. I'd put her above, just below Iris. That seems the most accurate. And then we have the two most interesting people on the list, believe it or not. Actually, no, Shiori might be the most interesting, because she's either the most powerful person in this. She's either the most powerful person in the Hololive universe, or she's just of above average power level. There's frankly no in between. We have, I can never remember how to spell Sana's first name. It's Tsukumo. I've written down for everybody else. This is gonna bother me. Sana Hololive. Tsukumo. So Kumo Sana. Okay. Tsukumo Sana. Powers. Space incarnate. Durability. Multi-planetary level durability. You'd have to be able to destroy a couple planets to be able to take her down. Disposition. I can't say this for real, but I'm pretty sure she'd probably just be like, oh, okay, we'll just deal with this real quick. That's my best guess, but I'm just gonna leave it as question marks. Let's see. Again, she's another incarnation. So she's in the Gorillas What Gorillas tier. I don't think she beats Crony, because Crony can annihilate them on levels that they could not believe. She definitely beats out Fauna, Bay, and Mume, because she can just... Have you ever seen... I never played this game, but Ashura's Wrath, and like there's that famous like boss fight of like that one boss that puts like his finger down, and it's like the size of like a continent, and he's like trying to just like crush Ashura, whatever you pronounce that name. Sonic can literally just do that. Not only can she not only can she annihilate all the gorillas, she can annihilate the entire continent all the gorillas live on, as well as most of the oceans that surround them, just like that. Gorillas, what gorillas? Everything around her dies. Mostly because she massively shifts the oceans due to her insane gravitational pull. It is without her limiter, obviously, but we assume without limiter because everyone's at full power. Then we have Watson. Watson. Her name is technically Watson Amelia, but we all call her Amelia Watson, so I'm gonna go with that. Powers. Time travel. Durability. Normal. Human. The most busted powers on maybe the most average person. Because all the boys, they're like slightly above average. They have some like anime levels of durability. I wouldn't say the same thing about Watson. In fact, the only person I know of in Hololive who's just actually a human, well, in Hololive, that's just actually a human, is Liz. And even she is higher than average because she has freaking fire magic and armor and all of that. So she's above average. Watson is literally just a girl, but with the most broken power. Disposition. I am not going to fight, but I will still win. So, Watson is in the Gorillas What Gorillas tier. Ooh. The real question is, she's gonna do better than Mume. Why did I put Callie so low? Hold on. Callie's beating Mume for sure. Actually, hold on. I gotta fix this. Callie's ahead of... Callie's there. Okay. She's beating Mume, however, she's not going to directly engage with them. She's just going to go forward in time to when the gorillas are dead. They've died of old age. She's just going to leave and come back in the same place like 100 years in the future. The problem is that she has to come back. Without time travel, she's killed by the first one. With time travel, gorillas what gorillas. Since everyone's at full power, so is she. And yeah, there we go. That is everybody in Holo EN. All right, most people are winning. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 that win out of the 32, which means there's 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I've got Bettles on here twice. Yeah, 11. So we have 11 that don't. Sorry for Wawa, I don't think you beat the 100 gorillas. Let's see, is there anybody I think that needs to move up and down in the rankings? Axel I think is good. I don't think he's taking down a gorilla, but I do think he has the best chance of taking down a gorilla of those 4. Sorry, Haka. Bettle's definitely doing the most damage or the least. There's no in between. And Shiori is terrifying. I think that's right. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna change something a bit. Let's see. Add a row above. Oh wait, no. Add a row above. This one. Let's see. Actually, I need to make it so that you can actually see. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put this new one. Let's see. Let's see. Consumes all. Consumes all. Not just gorillas. Actually, hold on a second. I'm going to... Actually, hold on. Okay, actually, I'm going to change this a bit. Hold on. I'm going to get rid of this picture. I want to get rid of this one. And then I'm going to add a new Shiori and put her up there. So there's two Shioris. Where is Shiori? Novella. There she is. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna put Shiori up here. Consumes all lunch. There we go. Okay. There we go. I like that better. There we go. Gorillas, what gorillas? Consumes all, not just gorillas. Let's see. I think that works. Nah, I don't need it. There we go. Okay. Consumes all, not just gorillas. Gorillas, what gorillas? Easy way. Okay, there we go. I like that better. Yay! What time is it? 10:30. Yikes. Yikes. Okay. I think that is it. Yeah. There we go. All right. That was fun. Yeah, I think I kind of needed that. Yeah. I never really watched Mume all that much, but still sad to see her go. And Gura, I was just getting into watching. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's not going to be interesting, but Thursday's going to be a rough day. I really just hope she gets a chance to do a collab with Bibu. I know Bibu really wanted to collab with her and just talk about DMC stuff. I hope she gets a chance to do that. And I hope we don't have to wait until years from now when Bibu's no longer in Hollow, because who knows if Gura will still be around then. But I saw on Kiara's schedule there's going to be some sort of like, the day before there's going to be some sort of like myth collab relay, where I don't know if Gura is going to do an individual collab with each of them and then they're going to do one at the end. I don't know what that's going to be, but she's got Tuesday and Wednesday. Today she did her last member stream, which is an unarchived karaoke. I know she's probably going to do another karaoke tomorrow. I don't know, did Narissa ever get a chance to do a one-on-one collab with Gura? I don't know if they did. I genuinely don't know. Because I know Narissa's thing is she wanted to. She wanted to do. She wants to do a one-on-one collab with everybody. I know they've been in some group collabs together, but I don't think they've had a one-on-one collab. Yeah. 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 I don't know. I think Gura was still holding back, and she knew her graduation was so close to Mumei's that she didn't want to take a lot of Mumei's spotlight, which is understandable. So she didn't stream as much, but I'd like to see her, even if it's just like little quick like hour things, even if they're just like doing a little bit of chatting. I'd like to see her do a one-on-one with Nerissa and Bibu, because I know they both wanted to have a collab with her before she goes. I hope she makes time to do that. We'll see. She didn't put out any sort of schedule. That would be kind of nice, honestly, because we would like to know when things are going up. Although I don't think Mumei put out a schedule either. None of them are very schedule-y, but anyways. Neither did Fauna. Well, I think Fauna maybe did. I don't remember. Anyways, I hope she just doesn't leave with any regrets. I think she's been done for a while, but I think it'd be sad for her to leave with regrets. Yeah. Anyways, that was a real sad note to end on. But I had fun with this. This was good, and I kind of needed this. I will not be able to stream tomorrow because I'm meeting with somebody, or Wednesday. And I'm definitely not going to be streaming on Thursday because that's going to be Gura's graduation. I might be able to stream on Wednesday. We'll see. If my friends can't meet, then I'll stream then. But yeah. I'm kind of in a weird way with neither Mumei or Gura being like someone that I watched a lot. I don't feel any pressure to like finish artwork for them leaving like I did with Fauna. So that's nice. Especially since I want to just kind of be doing some different stuff. I want to be expanding what I do. I wrote down a bunch of ideas at work today, and we were trying some of them out. I want to do an education stream. I want to make a stream where I talk about why Spider-Man is the better Batman, and I want to go into detail on it. I got to do a bunch of research though, and I'm probably gonna have to make a slideshow. It's gonna be great. But I want to branch out and start doing some more stuff. There's a bunch of things that I want to do, but I've always been like, I gotta have like an audience for a bunch of this stuff. But a bunch of stuff I do have to have an audience for. But frankly, I have to do stuff that warrants getting an audience in order to get an audience. So we're just gonna do that. I've started actually tweeting out what I'm gonna say, so we'll see. Well, tweeting out what I'm gonna say. I started tweeting out when I'm actually streaming. I don't know if that will bring anybody in. But I think Twitter is the only place I'm going to be able to grow. And then if I can turn just even one or two of those people into to just come and check me out, that would be pretty cool. But usually I just stream all to myself. And you know what? That's okay. And some days I actually kind of like it. Because that means I can just talk about whatever I want. Anyways, It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real good for me. It has not been a fun reel, though. And I will see you guys probably Friday, because I'm probably going to want to talk about Gura's graduation. Yeah. Anyways, y'all have a good one.